Happy 2026, everybody. It's your girl, Soleil Moon. We are here to do a general energy reading for 2026. I have a queue of personal readings to get to that I plan on starting today because that's what I want to do. Yes. Let's not forget about the power of, you know what? It's just what I want. What you actually want is important. It's part of what I want to talk about today. I think a lot of people, the sky was loud and some would say angry, but the sky was very loud, forward, talkative. The universe had all kinds of things to say in 2025, and I feel like that brought a... Oh, well, we got some stuff that wants out here already. Take that one. We'll shuffle again. If it wants back out, it'll come back out. But I feel like a lot of people went through an awakening, went through a change, a lot of endings, a lot of figuring out who you are underneath all of the hustle bustle, underneath all the bubble, toil and trouble, right? But the thing I want to remind everybody, and I'm going to try to get in the habit of saying this, you got to be real with how you feel, because anything less ain't nothing but stress. Hiding, watering down yourself, rearranging things so maybe that they sound better or perceive better. Nah, we're not doing that. So Queen of Wands wanted out first, but we're going to leave her over there. Eight of Swords. Chariot. Go for one more. 10 of Wands. Alright. Let's see what we got here. It's funny. Alright, you got 1, 8, 7, 10. 26. Don't think that's a coincidence. There's no coincidences, right? First thing I'm drawn to is this Ace of Cups. Looking like new beginnings, right? This feels like a few of you are still struggling with taking that blindfold off, but we'll get some clarification here. Where others of you are ready to get your show on the road, right? You're ready to move. 10 of Wands. That's all that hard work coming to fruition. And you've got the Queen of Wands. She's patient. So, I feel like this is me needing to remind you guys to be patient with yourself. Just because everything basically flipped itself upside down and inside out last year rolling into this year, and you want to make some changes. Change is good. We don't progress without change. Doesn't mean you have to do it all at once. Crawl before you walk. Baby steps. There's a lot to be said for knowing your destination. That's great. You don't have to run there. Life is not a race. You know? Life is not a race. Unless you're on a kidney transplant list. I just got that. Maybe that's me needing to check on my friend Emily. But if any of you got some health conditions, maybe that is something you don't need to put off any longer. But we'll see what comes out here. We'll see what comes out here. I'm actually going to do something I seldom do. I'm going to use oracle cards for clarification here. It says general energy reading. I am going to use Celestial Insights. Beautiful deck, very artistic. And I'm going to use these deep dive oracle cards as well. If I feel pulled to pull anything from anything else, I'll let you know. But ooh, something's rushing me. I usually do these in order, but 8. Those of you still feeling uncertain, still feeling bound. I'm hoping I've got my new camera set up. You guys can see these when I hold them up. Look at that. She's able to free herself. She's not bound with any chains. She doesn't have locks on her. She's not standing somewhere where she's going to drown. Actually, even if those ropes were tight, she could rub up against one of those swords in the background and free herself. So I'm getting the feeling of, don't be your own captor. Don't get so wrapped up in the fact that something feels like it's binding you that you lose sight of the fact you can get yourself out, that there are ways to get yourself out. Let's see. All right, feeling one more shuffle here. That boundary on the bottom of the deck, is it still there? Yes. Whew. All right. This one wanted to be talkative. Setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries. Okay. Getting somewhere here. Setting healthy boundaries is crucial for your well-being. Do you feel overwhelmed by others? Clearly define your limits to protect your emotional and mental space. Maybe you feel trapped in your own head. I feel like some of you, like I said, this is general. You know, I seldom do zodiac specific reads. Unless somebody really, really asks. And, you know, Teresa, Chef T, you know you're a few people that can ask me to do one for Taurus. Love you, girl. Hope you're having a great 2026. But, yeah. Setting a healthy boundary, realizing there needs to be one there, is probably the easiest part. Don't shoot me yet. Executing that well. Holding those boundaries up when people, places, things push against it is another. Ooh, this feels like a reminder session. I feel like this is the universe, the good Lord, spirit guides, ancestors all wanted me to remind you guys of something about yourselves and about what's ahead and how to handle it. This next card is admiration. You are worthy of admiration and respect. You have been downplaying your value. Ooh, I misread that. It says, have you been downplaying your value? But I read it as you have been. So some of you all are not tooting your own horn enough. You're not taking up your full space. I know that's like laying myself bare or something. That is something at almost 50 years old, right? I rung in Capricorn season. Just turned 48. Me being my full glorious, unfiltered self, taking up my full space is something I've just started to do and I still struggle with, but it's getting easier. I tell people, if I'm too much, by all means, don't let me hold you in my space, in my energy, in my life. Go get less. I'm not watering myself down. Don't water yourself down. Accept compliments and be proud of your achievements. You deserve recognition. Again, I'm just going to speak to you openly. I'm not going to preach at you. I tell my friends all the time that I do not give advice. I do not stand on a soapbox and say something if I haven't been underneath, beside, all around, and on top of a situation before. Someone, karaoke host, he gave me a compliment and I instantly started saying something negative about myself. It was like, well, thank you, but well, this about me is not so great. And he stopped me. I want to say his name was William. And he says, Tina, do you realize how often you do that? He says, I said something nice about you and you started talking bad about yourself. He goes, I want you to quit doing that because you're a wonderful person. And that never left me. And that was probably back in somewhere between 2013 and 2016. That never left me. I didn't realize I was doing that. But when I look back at text messages, when I paid attention from that point on, what my knee-jerk reaction, what my response wanted to be, I'm going to check the camera, see if I actually hit record. Ha ha ha. Yes, I'm that YouTuber. Yay, we going. I did a lot. And that was some unhealed stuff from childhood in me. That was some unhealed things probably from young adulthood. That was my own insecurity coming out, me not feeling worthy or feeling like I had to lower myself in some way. I can't even finish that sentence because I can't even think of anything positive right now that would come from me lowering myself on the tail end of someone paying me a compliment. Maybe some of you guys are stuck there too. But you deserve recognition. You deserve to be proud of yourself. And if people take, there it is, because yeah. If people take you speaking of your accomplishments like you're bragging, that's their problem. Now, if you're just out here rubbing it in people's faces, oh, look at this and look at that, but if you just say, hey, like I recently completed a certification in online property management. I let people compliment me. I posted it online. And I left it simple. It's like, well, look who's done yet another thing. Because I've been working on myself. I want to open doors for myself. You deserve to do that. And when you do that and you accomplish it, you deserve to be proud of it. You deserve to speak about it. You deserve to let that be part of your life and your world. And if someone can't deal with it or they see that as some sort of threat, well, that's a person probably best left in 2025 or left in that 2025 energy. Universe Union. I don't usually read oracle cards in reverse. So I'm going to flip this around. We'll see. Your connection to the universe is stronger than you think. Have you felt disconnected lately? Reconnect with your inner spirit and the world around you. The universe is always guiding you. Maybe that's why it came out inverted underneath some of you that are feeling still bound in some way. But you and your connection to your world and all that is stronger than you think. A lot of us, notice I said us, I'm including me, have yet to truly learn how to be receptive to the good things that are coming our way. How to interpret a positive shift. You think you lose somebody, someone is out of your life. I mean, that use the word lose. You view it as loss. You see, I had to catch myself there. Was it really? Or was it someone that needs to be out of your inner circle that you need some distance from that was maybe draining to you? Not a loss. Anytime something is taken out of your life, it's creating space for something new to come in. You can't keep 5 old friends where you've grown apart, the communication's not there, they're not feeling like your tribe. But if you keep spending all of your time with them, you're not going to find people you actually resonate with. You're not going to find your tribe. You're not going to find those people you really click with. You mentioned my friend Shannon, and I'll probably send her a link to this. I don't know if she'll watch it. I don't know if this is really her thing, but she's one of the best things I got out of 2025. Out of a whole group of people, me and her clicked. It's like we get each other. We're at the same kind of place in life, so we resonate with each other. Our struggles, our goals are very similar. Our mindsets are. Keep that And this says telepathy. Your intuition is connecting you with others. Have you experienced moments of deep understanding with someone? Pay attention to these subtle connections. They could hold the answers you need. It's not a coincidence. Like I said, I'm one of those people, I don't believe in coincidence. If you constantly have someone on your mind, if there's someone that the conversation just flows like water over a fall, you giggle and laugh together. You feel like when you're struggling, they actually have true insight, and if they don't, they're actually listening. Don't ignore that. That's synergism. And I'm not talking about telepathy like the X-Men, but hell, I mean, really, in a sense, if you're watching this, you probably have experienced something to the point where you kept seeing like the last digits of someone's phone number, things that remind you of them. Every show you turned on, there was a character showing up with a certain person's name or their vehicle. Usually, you're pulled to either reach out to them or assume thereafter they reach out to you. Don't ignore that kind of thing. Those connections are there. I mean, we didn't used to have GPS. We didn't used to have weapons. We didn't used to be able to construct these nice homes. Intuition has kept mankind alive since we were out in the forest, living in caves. However you believe, since creation. I don't want to offend anybody. But it has kept us alive for a very long time. Us ignoring that, whether it be letting people not good for us linger too long, staying in the area and staying in a dead-end job, us ignoring that is usually what gets us starting to feel miserable, gets us starting to feel bound in life, trapped in our own head. So I'm gonna, that there, feeling both of these want to talk. What do you got here? That was left beyond time. Remember to live in the present while being aware of the bigger picture. Be fully present. That's a good one. Planting seeds. Your ideas, dreams, and efforts have potential to develop into great things. Future promise. Oh, all right. Okay. So let me switch over. Passion waves. Came out. I don't know why it wants me to put that to the side, but we just gonna do it. We're back over here. We're still clarifying the chariot. Alright, want one more? What wants out? Something's being picky today. What we got here? Oh. Accept synchronicity surprise. There we go. Link attract. Guess we're going for 4 or 5 on each here. We're just going with the flow. Beyond time. Remember to live in the present while being aware of the bigger picture. That may seem out of place here, but that guy's going somewhere. When we think of motorcycles, I think most of us think of a little bit of daring, a little bit of taboo, a little bit of adventure. I was telling a younger friend of mine that I was so proud of her. She's my daughter's age. But I was reminding her to not work so hard, to learn to live a little bit each day, because you see, as this beyond time. My universe answers and the timing oracle is pulling at me. So we might get a little bit out of here later. But goals are nice. We all have things that we want to work towards. There's no fulfillment. It gets to be a little hollow if we don't. But we can't get so focused on fixing our finances, fixing up the house, chasing that dream job that we forget to live. Planting seeds. Your ideas, dreams, and efforts have potential to develop into great things. Future promise. Those of you who still haven't gotten pulled over here with this fresh start yet, And maybe it doesn't need clarification. Maybe since it's the first day of the year, the fact that this is showing up as a fresh start is enough in and of itself. Give yourself time. See this patient queen, you see him toiling away? When you plant things to grow into something, nourish it. Give it time to evolve. You're just like this. Give yourself time to evolve, to open up, to grow into something. Give your future, give your passion, give your dreams, give your career, give yourself time. Yeah, just be kind to yourself. Maybe that's the overall. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. You're working on yourself. Think about this. I'm dating myself here. I forgot to turn off my notifications. I got dings. Some of you guys may remember Jim Walter Homes. Well, when those things got popular, people got in them and realized that construction could be a little shoddy. I hope I don't get copyright struck for that. Because they were getting the demand far exceeded what they could do in a quality way. And people were getting into houses and the foundation wasn't right. The shelf, never passed a marble test. Things are crooked, the wirings is just like on a short wall, you might have a 20 amp and then you only might have a 10 running the whole kitchen, so you can't run the microwave and the blender at the same time without popping a fuse. There's something to be said with quality over quantity. There's something to be said for having the patience to do things in a way that once you do them, you'll have a good chance of getting good quality results that you deserve. How's that? Accepting things as they are can be a powerful step forward. You may be resisting change lately. Let go of control, and you'll discover peace and new opportunities in the present moment. I struggle with this. Again, something I feel, at least according to those around me and my therapist, that I'm getting better at. I feel the need to say the old cliche that control is an illusion. About the only thing we can control is our reactions and decisions to the things that come at us. Accepting some things just as they are, accepting that not everything needs your attention or your reaction or a lot of overthinking and stuff. If somebody calls you and tells you, I know I asked you to be a bridesmaid, but I really changed my mind and I want so-and-so else to be a bridesmaid instead. You can just leave it at, okay, you can tell that person, I won't say that this doesn't sting or come as a surprise, but it's your wedding. Thank you for letting me know. Don't kick yourself. Don't take that as, oh, I'm a lesser friend. I'm not good enough person. I'm not pretty enough or whatever. And here's an example for you guys. Yeah, especially people that are freelancers or that work in seasonal based work. This time of year is probably very hard for you. You're probably putting yourself out there and you're not getting a lot. That doesn't mean you're not a good contractor. That doesn't mean that you're not worthy of making money every month of the year. What you may need to accept is, hey, I need to make a better plan for the off season. I need to have a backup so that the 4 months of the year when things are slow, I'm doing something else. Ooh, I just got an idea. Maybe that's the time that you can turn into a teacher. Maybe you can teach your trade. Right? Maybe you can share your experience. And that can be, it's kind of like teachers during the summer. Some of them just teach summer school, right? But other ones, they might go off on an adventure and go to another country and teach English as a second language. They may take that time to go, hey, you know what? If I just spread my paycheck out over 12 months, I can pour myself into one of my hobbies over the summer. And maybe I can make a little money there. Maybe you're a woodworker, right? Maybe you're someone that likes to braid hair. And you can use that as your side hustle while having your cushion. So you know what? If you have seasonal based work, maybe that's time for you to instruct. Maybe that's time for you to get your next certification. Maybe you're doing construction. Maybe you also want to be an electrician. You know? Maybe every off season you should work towards, getting some more of those letters behind your name. I don't know why I was pulled to say that, but like I said, I'm rolling with them, not fighting it. Synchronicity surprise. I really hope I'm holding these. Like I said, this is my new camera angle where you guys can see it. Life's coincidences are often the universe's way of guiding you. Yeah, like I said, no coincidences. Have you noticed unexpected synchronicities? These signs may be helping you find your path forward. If you keep seeing something over and over, I don't care if it's a number, I don't care if it's a commercial, I don't care if it's a name. That's the universe, that's the good Lord, that's however your faith system works. That's everything trying to go, hey, pay attention. This is something we want you to take a look at. We don't want you to keep ignoring it. Link attract. You are attracting people and opportunities that align with your energy. Are you dissatisfied with your current surroundings? And people are included in your surroundings. When it says surroundings, you may need to, I'm restructuring my house because I don't like the way some things are laid out. It's making me feel better the more I do it. It could be your house. It could be your friend circle. It could be your job. It could be just so much as where you keep your pots and pans. Maybe if you put them in a place where it's not such a pain in the butt to get to, you might cook more often because you're not dreading having to turn yourself into a pretzel just to do it. It says shift your mindset and energy and you'll begin attracting what you desire. Your thoughts. Your thoughts control your reality. If you have a cold and all you sit around and do is think about the fact that your nose is stuffy and your body's aching, you're extra miserable. But if you can blow your nose and laugh and go, you know what? I'm just going to cue up my favorite old sitcom. For me, it would be like The Golden Girls or something. And I would put on the episode called The Flu, where they all come down with it before this banquet. And I just roll with it. Laughter is great medicine. Don't let your mind get so bogged down that it destroys your presence, that it keeps you in that bound energy, that it keeps you from going on this adventure. But also, like I said, that patience, I know I feel it sound like the devil's advocate. Don't get so excited about something you've decided that you go all in gung-ho without any thought, no plan, no nothing. Now, sometimes it's safe to take a risk. Like if a friend just says, hey, you know what? My mom just gave me 3 rooms at the beach. You want to go to the beach for a weekend? By all means, if you ain't got to work, get your ass and go. Next to free chip in on the gas, y'all can eat cheap, go see the ocean. But if you're making a big life shift, right? Allow it to happen. Some temperance, some grace, some planning. Plant seeds, some patience. All right. Y'all didn't know y'all was coming in for the long term. I didn't read this. Passing waves. Trust in the journey and know each change leads to deeper understanding. Fluidity of life. I think that's a good overall message for this reading. I think that's a good overall message for this reading, so we're going to stick that right there. 10 of Wands. I feel like this symbolizes the work that you've done on yourself, getting ready to come to a fruition of sorts. Don't get under or overexcited. I'm not saying that, okay, you woke up and you realize you don't want to be a mindless drone, that's you got some belief in yourself that 2025 was the elimination round for a lot of us. A lot of people, places, and things got gone. End of one thing is the beginning of another. All that work you put into yourself, of putting yourself in a better headspace, is coming to fruition. Ooh, one more wants to come out. Ooh. Alright, everything's talkative. Start up here. Inspiration. Now that you've done all this work on yourself, first thing comes up is inspiration. Inspiration is sparking within you, lighting the way forward. Have you felt stuck lately? Remember her over here? Reconnect with what excites you. It will reignite your creativity and motivation. This is very true. A lot of us have been buried under the responsibilities of life, whether you're a parent or a caregiver to your parents, whether you work at jobs at 60 hours a week and time is short. Underneath all that, we lose the connection to ourselves. I think what this is all saying is, okay, now that you've done all that work restructuring the way your brain and how you react to the world around you, this reminds me of a hot air balloon. The light bulb, of course, is ideas, arrows pointing up, windows and doors of opportunity. Don't run away. Run towards who you are. And it's okay to admit you have no freaking idea. My identity was so wrapped around being a good worker drone, a good worker bee, a mother and a wife, that once those things were basically stripped from me, I didn't know who I was. But that happening, it felt like a loss at first. Kids get older, leaves the nest. Work landscape changed. Very fortunate to work from home. Spent 20 years with somebody that's coming to an end, tail end of a divorce. It all felt like loss. It wasn't. It was me gaining the space and the time to pour into me. And I wasted probably 2 years seeing that as a loss, but once my butt really started waking up in 2023, I saw it as a blessing. Next card is sturdy. It's echoing me. Thank you. I take that as confirmation. A strong foundation is key to success. Are you feeling uncertain about something? Focus on building a solid base in whatever you're working on. It will provide long-term stability. It's kind of what I was saying earlier. So you have an idea, you have a goal. Make sure it has a foundation. One thing I learned when, studying the human mind and psychiatry, psychology, peer support, a lot of people, especially when it comes to relationships, they get preoccupied with having a pretty house and filling it with pretty things, only to realize they don't have any foundation. They don't really know each other. You'd be surprised the amount of people 5, 10, 12, 15, 20 years into a marriage or relationship, they're in therapy trying to then put a foundation underneath. Some people are successful, but most aren't. You got to do that first, right? It's I don't know if I can make that any clearer. I can't believe I can't think of an analogy off the top of my head, but let's use a cake. You don't start out by making the icing. You might want to check and make sure you have all of the flour, butter, oil, eggs, and all that you need for the cake first, before you go making this big tub of beautiful icing and accidentally use your last stick of unsalted butter. accidentally use food coloring, accidentally use the last of your baker's joy or whatever. You get what I mean. I'm struggling with that one, but you get it. Start from the bottom up. Sturdy. You see that bridge? They didn't build that part first. They built these parts and parts underground that you can't see first. Then they built that. Purpose. Your purpose is guiding you forward. Have you been feeling lost? Refocused on what truly matters to you and pursue the things that bring meaning and fulfillment. I feel like that's just echoing what I've been saying. Find yourself. It's hard to live every day. I'm not saying that sometimes we don't just have to do what we got to do to make, whether it's to make ends meet, to get from one day to the next, but you got to have something that makes you want to wake up every morning. Fulfillment of self. It'll change your world. Even if it's just developing an exercise routine, or after work you go to the greenway and you sit and you watch the duck pond or the kids play. Find some fulfillment, purpose. Pick up a new hobby. Some of you are probably trying to pick up old hobbies and you can't get into them. It's because you've changed as a person. You might not be interested in that anymore. Allow yourself to change. You can have multiple purposes. You can have different purposes. Allow yourself room to become who you really are. We got ancient echoes. Honor insights gained with experience and hear the truths resonate within you. Timeless wisdom. Again, everything that you've learned up to this point, put it to work. Don't repeat old cycles. It's going to be tough breaking old habits. But let it be tough for your greater good. It's like they say, pick your hard. Being overweight and unhealthy is hard. Going to the gym and making better food decisions is hard. Pick your hard. If they're both going to be hard, you might as well pick the hard that benefits you. I didn't expect this. There's not a whole lot of, in these two decks, there's not a whole lot about romance and stuff. But it's this Cupid Deep Challenge. Challenges in love are testing you. Are you facing difficulties in a relationship? Don't shy away. Facing these challenges head on will strengthen your bond. This could be your relationship with yourself. It could be the relationship with you and the world around you. It could be your relationship with you and the universe as a whole. But of course, it could also be a relationship with family members. It could also be a lover. Don't shy away from the challenge. Anything, what's that old adage? Anything worth having is worth working on, waiting for. The imagery in this card, it's strange. It's like it's a lot of X's, arrows, and it looks like two suns. That reminds me, the sun is the center of our solar system. Your mind is the center of your whole entire world in existence. Get that right. Okay, we're probably at, see the hourglass going down there. We're probably approaching an hour. My little talkative self. It's funny, me being talkative. Sometimes that's a point of contention with people in my life. But literally, with everything that I do, whether it's writing something like this or whatever, I basically get paid to talk. So I'm not going to shy away from that anymore. If you don't like me talkative, go find somebody who's a lot quieter. Things flying out everywhere. What we got here? On top of our patient queen. Safe shelter. Believe in your ability to remain secure no matter the circumstances. Your inner strength. I think that's pretty clear. Unified flames. Connections with others amplify your light and lead to greater achievements, mutual support. Remember we had synchronicity surprise over here? We had telepathy. We had union. Time to find your real tribe. Time to find the people that you really resonate, jive with, flow with. Secret refuge. Reconnect with your core. Okay, this is what all this has been talking about. Finding yourself. Remember who you are. Inspiration, purpose, planting seeds, accepting things. Reconnect with your core and be ready to emerge with renewed clarity. Protected space. Ooh, I like that one. First of all, be your own safe space. That's the reason I say work on yourself, so that when you have to sit with yourself, when you're alone, you're not looking for one lover after another part-time job, distraction after distraction. You can sit with yourself because you like yourself. But it's funny, that's across from over here, the Cupid Deep Challenge. I was telling myself, kind of like a journal entry, I want to be, when I get into a relationship again, I want to be that person's emotional safe space. I want them to feel like they can be absolutely themselves, as completely open and as raw and as real as they actually are with me. But that's not to be confused with being someone's emotional rehab. I'm not trying to raise, rear, or reconstruct somebody that hasn't worked on themselves. That's not to say if someone that you care about in that way is struggling, that you can't be there. But I don't want to be someone's emotional rehab center. Being their safe space is one thing. Being foster's home for unhealed men or women is another. Let me just say that. That's a good one. But again, got to be real with how you feel. Anything less ain't nothing but stress. If I see someone, they come at me. I had a gentleman I tried to date after me and my soon-to-be ex-husband's separation was more solid, and I gave myself some time, and everything out of his mouth was, "You just what I need. You just what I need to get me back on my feet, to keep me straight. You just what I need." Nah, he was looking for, pardon my French, sounded to me like he was looking for a mother he could roll around in the sheets with. And I wasn't the one. It was a one and only day. Yeah, I didn't last. I wasn't the one. We all sometimes confuse being needed with being wanted. Being needed feels nice. Being wanted is better. Because if someone needs you, as soon as that need isn't there anymore, you'll start to question your place, and you might actually find yourself without a place in that person's life. But if they just want you, come hell or high water, good times or bad, everything in between, your place is secure. But you also got to want yourself, which is why you got to find yourself. Honor. Respect yourself and others. Respect for yourself and others is key to your growth. Have you felt a lack of respect in some areas of your life? By setting clear boundaries and honoring yourself, the world will follow suit. Yeah. If you are always who you are, if you present yourself and you conduct yourself, if you behave in a manner that's always true to who you are, you ain't got to worry. You will not have to worry about your place, about if people really like you. Because if you're always just yourself, if they're still around, they like you. But if you're watering yourself down, if you're going with the flow, I used to be the world's greatest chameleon. And part of that is just my empathy, right? Which is a good thing. But totally suppressing or magnifying or exaggerating or just shutting off parts of my personality to fit in with a group or with the person, nah, I don't do that anymore. That was my own insecurity. But I think that's about it, or I'm going to talk all day. So last thing, overall. I feel like that needs to go on this Ace of Cups, finally. The new beginning, commitment. Commitment is the key to long-term success. Are you hesitating to make a decision? Commit fully to a path, and you'll see the results of your dedication. So that is your general. This is Soleil Moon. It is January 1st, 2026. This is your general energy read. I don't know if it'll be for the month, for the week, or whatever, but at least you got this one in January. I'll try to do it more often. But again, trust in the journey. Know each change leads to deeper understanding. Go with the flow, the fluidity of life. I love you all. Have a wonderful day. And may 2026 bring you everything you hope and desire.